Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Shreshtham Manamapi Satchiputramatra Swarupam Rupam Tasyagrajamurupurim Mathurim Goshtavatim Radha Kundam Girivaramaho Radhika Madhavasham Prapto Yasya Patita Kripaya Shri Gurum Tam Natosmi Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Atapatagamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Varijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Pada Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. I'm very happy to see all of you here today. People in Vellore think it's a long way to come here, but we have devotees coming from Ramanathapuram and Dindigul and where's Dharmapuri, is it, Martin? Tirupatur and so many places. Kaveri Patnam. We've all come a long way before coming here. We've come all around the universe, round and round and round in the Sangsara Chakra. So having come here, we should not go away. We should stay. So you can just put up some tents here. They can all stay here. Chant Hare Krishna. But probably most of you will go back to where you came from today. But wherever you go, you have to carry Krishna in your heart. Krishna is already in our heart. But mostly we are, in material consciousness, we are ignoring Him. So we have to learn how to revive our dormant Krishna consciousness. So this movement, the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, is meant for giving knowledge of Krishna and how to attain Krishna. Often people ask us, well, what is ISKCON's philosophy? But actually to say ISKCON's philosophy, that's a misunderstanding. Because generally think philosophy means, well, there's one philosophy, someone else has some other philosophy, different opinions. And generally in Hinduism it's thought that, well, there are so many opinions and you can choose any path you like. And whatever path you take, you will reach the goal. But that doesn't make any sense. Just like if you go from Vellore on the road to Bangalore, you'll end up in Bangalore and not in Chennai. It's not that every path goes to the same place. And in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains this. He says, Yanti Deva Vrata Devan, those who worship demigods go to demigods. Pitrin Yanti Pitri Vrata Ha, those who worship the Pitris, the forefathers, they go to the Pitris. Bhutani Yena Yanti Bhuteja, those who worship the ghosts, they become a ghost. And Madhyajino Pi Yanti Mam, those who worship me come to me, says Krishna. So you may think, well, okay, well, I could become a ghost, or I could go to the demigod's planet, and what's the difference? Therefore we want to teach the difference. But this is not, it's not that ISKCON has its own philosophy, rather it is the explanation of what is reality, what is the truth. And that truth can be understood from Shastra. Shastra means Veda. Veda means knowledge. The summary of all knowledge is given in the Bhagavad Gita and in more expanded form in Srimad Bhagavatam. So this philosophy is not something just invented in ISKCON, but it's been coming down since time immemorial in the Guru Shishya Parampara system. So it's more correct than saying ISKCON philosophy is to say that what ISKCON teaches based on the eternal truth of the Shastra. So the first thing to understand is that we are not this body. This body is temporary, but I am eternal, you are eternal. But we are suffering in this material world life after life. We are meant for eternal blissful life. That eternal blissful life is in the service of Krishna. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There is God. Atheistic people, they want to establish there is no God. They say we looked in our microscope, we didn't find any God. We looked in our telescope, we didn't find God. They say that God is everywhere, but we can't see Him anywhere. And they say that God is in everyone's heart, but when we cut up someone's heart, we don't find any God. So they have to understand the process to find God in their heart. That process is Primanjana Churita Bhakti Vilochanena Santas Sadaiva Hridayeshu Vilokayanti Yang Shyama Sundaram Achintya Guna Swarupam Govindam Adi Purusham Tamaham Bhajami. One whose eyes are tinged with the salve of prema, pure love for Krishna, they always see Krishna, Shyama Sundar, of inconceivable transcendental forms. They see Him within their heart. We have to know the process to find Him. Atheists say, show me God. But He's not your pet dog who has to come when you call Him. He is the most subtle. That which is subtle, that cannot be easily perceived. Just like we learn from modern science, there are radio waves everywhere, there is radiation of different kinds everywhere, but we can't see it. People who are trained in the scientific or mechanical process, they can perceive the presence of various kinds of radiation. But one who is not trained, he can't see. So one who is trained in the process of bhakti, he can perceive the presence of Krishna. First we should understand with a little common sense that we are controlled. We don't choose how or where we are born. If we could choose, most people would choose to be born in a rich family with a very beautiful, healthy body. But even people who are born in such a condition, they have to die. They cannot control, they are forced to die. So we're under control, therefore there is a supreme controller. That supreme controller is the supreme person. He is called Krishna. Like us, He is eternal, but unlike us, He is not forced to take body after body according to His karma. His form, Shyamasundar, Achintya, Guna, Swarupa, is completely transcendental. He's present everywhere. He knows everything. He's all powerful. He's the best friend of every living being. He's all attractive, and therefore His name is Krishna. So we are all part and parcel of Krishna, forgetting that we are suffering in this material world. We have suffering in this material world because we've lost our original pure consciousness. Our original pure consciousness is simply to accept that I am the servant of Krishna. But when we forget that, then we become covered by maya or illusion. And we try to be happy in this material world. We try to be happy in 84 lakh species of life. Everything that every living being does, they do to try to be happy. The humans, the beasts, the birds, the trees, the insects, every living being is trying to be happy. But no one is happy in this world. And even if we get a little happiness, we have to suffer birth, death, old age and disease. So we have to go through all different bodies due to the karmic reactions that we incur during this human form of life. So this human form of life is most valuable. According to what we do in this life, that will cause us to be born again and again and again and again in many different species. Or if we take to Krishna consciousness, we can get free from material existence and go to Krishna. So it's really like human life is like a crossroads. We can go this way or that way. We should be intelligent and choose to go on that path which will give us the highest benefit. It's not, of course, many people they talk about liberation or moksha. But the highest moksha is going to Krishna in the spiritual world. Moksha doesn't mean to merge into some white light. That is one kind of liberation. But full, complete liberation is to attain our original happy position in the service of Krishna in the spiritual world. Because that is our constitutional position. As living beings, we are meant to be happy always in the service of Krishna. Just I said that everything everyone does, they do because they are seeking happiness. So you have also come here seeking happiness. But the happiness you seek is not the happiness that the dogs and the cats also enjoy. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha samanam etat pashubhya naranam. Humans and animals, they both eat, sleep, mate and fear and defend. But the happiness of eating and sleeping and all these things, that is not the Atma Sukh, that is not the happiness of the soul. But here you are coming, you are feeling the happiness of bhakti that is superior to all kinds of happiness. Even if you go to the heavenly planets and become a demigod, that is nothing. The happiness there, that's also temporary and limited. But the happiness of serving Krishna, that is unlimited. But in this material world, people have an allergy to this concept of service, that I should serve. They think it's something like serving my boss at work, and then he shouts at me, and he's not nice to me. But serving Krishna means an exchange of love. So we should learn all these points. It is a great spiritual science. Just like if you want to learn how to recognize different kinds radio waves, electromagnetic waves, you have to study under a qualified professor. So this spiritual science is the science of understanding who we are, who is God, what is our relationship. So we should learn this spiritual science under the guidance of qualified teachers. Particularly one has to surrender to Krishna via a guru who is a devotee of Krishna. Nowadays in India people think a guru is someone who is something like a film star. Or there may be a hugging guru. Or some guru who takes 2,000 rupees a session to teach you how to get stress relief and personality development. But the real guru is one who comes in the Guru Shishya Parampara and teaches the absolute truth according to Shastra. Generally, the pious people in India, they still like to give respect to sadhus. And following that culture, you have kindly offered me an elevated seat and garlands. And this is all very good. But the main thing is hear. You should hear and learn. So one should learn the topics of Krishna consciousness from a competent teacher. And he teaches according to Shastra. Of course, there are many teachings in Shastra for different people at different levels. That's why in some places in Shastra it teaches you should worship Shiva or you should worship Durga. But the highest truth is to fully surrender to Krishna. As Krishna states in Bhagavad Gita, Sarvadhaman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja aham tva sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma shujaha. Krishna says, give up all other ideas of dharma and fully take shelter in me. Surrender to me. I will deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. So this is Krishna's instruction. He came 5,000 years ago to this world. But just after Krishna left, Kali Yuga set in. And in Kali Yuga, people tend to be stupid. More stupid than in other yugas. So even if they get a good instruction to surrender to Krishna, they'll think, why should I surrender to Krishna? So Krishna came again 500 years ago. The Shama Sundar came as Gora Sundar and gave the very easy process of practicing Bhakti Yoga by chanting the holy names of Krishna. Especially the Hare Krishna mantra, which is Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. The people in Kali Yuga, they're very dull-headed, but if they chant Hare Krishna, their spiritual intelligence will awaken. But most people are too dull even to chant Hare Krishna. So devotees of Krishna, they go everywhere and they try to induce others to chant. They preach the message of Krishna. And as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did, they go in among the public and chant the holy names, so that people will at least hear these holy names and become purified. And not only humans, but all living beings can be purified by hearing, even by hearing these holy names. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught that the highest goal of life is to attain Krishna Prem, pure love for Krishna. That pure love means without any personal desire. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu taught, Na dhanam na janam na sundarim kavitam va jagadisha kamaye mama janmani janmanishvare bhavatad bhakti rahaitu kitvai. O Almighty Lord, I do not desire wealth, nor followers, nor beautiful women, nor any intellectual achievements. I only desire your causeless devotional service, birth after birth. So it's very high teaching, very best teaching, but at the same time it's easy to take to, and it's very pleasing to the soul. So on behalf of Srila Prabhupada, who brought this Krishna conscious teachings of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the eternal teachings of the Vedas, to the whole world, we invite you to please participate in this movement. Chant Hare Krishna, be happy, make your life successful, and try to help others also to take up this blissful and pure process of Krishna consciousness. It really is the very best life. Everyone agree? Yes. No atheists here? Well, there's these followers of this Periyar, but I think their influence is decreasing. That's good. May Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pure love of Krishna spread all over the world and all over the universe. Actually, in Srimad Bhagavatam, it's stated that in this Kali Yuga, in this area where the rivers Tamrapani, Payasvini, all these rivers are flowing, in this area there'll be many great devotees of Krishna. Yeah, these are all the old Puranic names. Now they say Bhagai and all this. So, Hare Krishna. Any question? Any question about this? If anyone asks you what is ISKCON's philosophy, you can just quote all of this. This is all the basic stuff.
Among 4 yugas, in first yuga, Hiranya and Hiranyakasipu, there are 2 bad elements were there, and Lord Narasimha came and saved people. save people.
Mm.
Now, in Kali Yuga, even in starting itself, that Lord Krishna came as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But in this Yuga, there are thousands and thousands of bad elements are there, but they are not visible. Like Ravana and Kumbharana.
No, in Kali Yuga, everything's smaller. So even they are not big demons. There are lots of small demons.
That avatar in starting of the Yuga is, I think it is not enough. But whether it will be continue.
Kali Kale Nama Rupe Krishna Avatar Nam Hoite Hoi Sarva Jagat Nishta. In Kali Yuga, Krishna's avatar is Nama Rupa, in the form of his holy name. The holy name can deliver the whole universe. Actually, in every yuga, it's not just that there were two demons. Bhagavatam, some are more prominent than others. Srimad Bhagavatam describes that after Narasingh Bhagavan had killed Hiranyakashipu, he was still angry and he killed all his associates also. There are thousands of demons with him. And that's described in the beginning of the 10th canto of Bhagavatam, that the earth was feeling overburdened because there were so many demons in the forms of kings. So Mahavishnu said, okay, I'll come and sort it all out. Actually that was Shiradaksha. Anyway. Yes, personally Krishna killed Kamsa and Shishupal, and by the agency of Bhimsen, he killed Duryodhana and his 99 brothers. By Bhima he also killed Jarasandha, and by Arjuna he killed so many others. So Krishna Leela, it's not only dancing with the gopis, it's also killing so many demons. But in this Kali Yuga, there's no killing by the Lord. Because if you have to kill the demons, then there's no one left. So he kills the demoniac propensities within the hearts of everyone by giving his holy name. Do you have that set of Srimad Bhagavatam in your home? You take the whole set, you study, you'll get so much enrichment of spiritual knowledge and spiritual bliss. How many of you have the full set Bhagavatam in your home? Yeah, so Bhagavatam also is the literary Of course, one hand here and one hand here, that means it's not because... No, what I mean to say is that if you see one hand here and one hand here, actually it's one set because there's the husband and wife. So that's good. Husband and wife can study Bhagavatam together. 2 sets in your house, not every house. So this Bhagavatam is also an avatar of Krishna, literary incarnation. That is stated in Bhagavatam itself. Krishne swadhamo bhagate dharma jnana divisaha kalo nashtadrishamesha purarna ko dhunoditaha. Krishna left this world at the end of Dwapara Yuga, and with him went dharma, jnana and all good qualities. But persons who have lost their people who are blind in this Kali Yuga, they have no spiritual vision, they will get light from this sun-like Purana. So I think those of you who are reading Bhagavatam, you're experiencing this, is it not? Amazing, so much spiritual knowledge. Last time I was in Bhimavaram in Andhra Pradesh, that was almost 1 year ago. We were staying in the house of one doctor. And he said, I almost became a Christian. I was almost converted. Because the Christians are preaching this Hinduism, it's all nonsense. And then I got one of Prabhupada's books. And now I'm reading the Srimad Bhagavatam. And I'm simply astonished by the depth of spiritual knowledge. He said, I didn't know what a great wealth we have in this, our own spiritual culture. So you all read these books and you tell other people about this also. You don't have to be a high-class Brahmin learning Sanskrit, no need of any such thing. Srila Prabhupada has explained all this knowledge in clear English and it's translated into Tamil and so many other languages. So I strongly recommend those of you who don't have Bhagavatam in your home, get Bhagavatam in your home. These are volunteers to take.
Yeah, today.
Good, yeah.
No, there are